Hi, it's Adam with the junior message of the week, and this week we focused on service. So, as I've spoken about in the past, service is one of the seven principles of a warrior. And I always explain to the kids, well, the warrior, became a black belt and protected a town or village, and he was very confident and determined. However, he always had a sense of service. And especially when a warrior, works his way up to a black belt and becomes an authority figure. It's great to help other people out and train. However, service is a important part of someone's life, especially when they're influencing other people. And it's a great trait that we can instill in our children. So I gave real quick examples of stories of two families that went to a park, and the park was a little bit messy. They were having a picnic, and one decided just to clean up the mess that someone else had left behind, and then the other just left the mess and obviously had their picnic and left. And I sort of explained, well, if we're of service, we're going to make sure that the place is nice and tidy, and this obviously impacts the environment, etc. And then at the same time, this might be related to when you're tidying up at home. Do you just do the minimum, or do you help out a little bit more and be of service in your household environment? So with the older kids, I started to talk about, well, people that actually serve on a regular basis, actually it impacts their emotional state. One way, and it's been proven that to actually overcome depression and sad moods is to be of contribution. So, if people are helping out, feeding homeless or helping out a hospital or doing something where they're actually giving of their time, it actually makes them feel better about themselves. So there's been proven studies, as I said before, about some of these things, and I really then test some of the older kids to sort of see, where do you contribute and how do you serve, in your school life, at home life, with Krav Maga, how do you serve? And there's many opportunities where people at school or even at Krav Maga can put their hand up and volunteer and help out with different classes, and same thing at school or definitely at home. So what I'd recommend you to do this week is sort of sit down with the kids and say, well, how can we serve as a family and as an individual? Obviously, there's the basics that we do, which is making sure the household's tidy, etc. But what type of thing could we do, or what type of service could we provide to make the world a better place? And as I said, it might be something simple as volunteering in a certain group, or helping out at a school function and giving of your time. So I would highly recommend in the near future that you find an event that yourself and your child can actually contribute and be of service, and then relate it back to the message about the warrior. So I hope you had a great week, and I look forward to seeing you at class.